Hello and welcome to Pickleball Den Club Membership Management. In this video, we're going to go through on how to avoid a minor problem with having duplicate client accounts or member accounts within Pickleball Den. That usually arises when you have, let's say, two clubs that you're managing. And usually if you have two clubs, they may be overlapping clubs where you may manage a club at a YMCA, for example, and maybe 15 miles further away, another YMCA that you may be managing different clubs, and some of those members may be in both clubs. Or the other one is where you have a master club. In this case, if you're looking at the screen, we have Blair County Club, where we have all of our members. But let's say a subset of those members want to join the clinic club, where you manage those members who want to get together regularly to have lessons with each other and have a clinic. So we're going to go through that on how you avoid duplicating member accounts, which kind of gets a little bit messy if that starts to happen too much. And it's not difficult to avoid. So the first thing is, let's say you get a new member and brand new member, and your master club, we'll say this Blair County Club is where you have all your members. So I would go into club members, and I'm going to go down here and say add new member, and I'm going to say the email is john.doe at gmail.com and say John Doe. Okay, now that's simple enough, right? Now we got John in here. Now at this point we add him to the Blair County Club, and we also know he's interested in the clinic club as well, so we can add them both here. We'll say they're members, or John's a member, and we say save. Now that means that John is now in both clubs. But let's say John has is married and his wife's name is Jane, but she doesn't really use email. That John kind of manages all the emails, and so she doesn't have an email. That's okay as well. Again, let's say the same situation. They both are in the main club, but they also want to be part of the clinic. And so we go into club members and we add member, and she doesn't have an email. Okay, so we're going to put Jane Doe. Now at this point, the software is going to create a new account because it just sees Jane Doe, and it is a new account. So this is not a problem. So we go ahead and add her there. And let's say I just say, oh, for now she wants to be in a Blair County club. Maybe she isn't interested in a clinic club at this point. Okay, so uh, we'll go ahead and save this. Okay, now Jane is in the Blair County Club, and so is uh, John. They're both in here. Uh, but Jane is not part of the clinic. She says, "No, I don't. I'm not interested in that." But let's say a few weeks later, she says, "Hey, I am interested in the clinic club." It's kind of tempting to go in here and say, "Okay, club members, add a new member." Well, Jane is not a new member. She's actually already in there, but sometimes we might find ourselves hitting add new member, and then we say Jane Doe again, and we click add member. I'm not going to do it, but we hit add member. Well, now we've created a second account for Jane. So she's looks like, it's the same account, but they're two different ones. And let me show you something else here. If we go into our club members for the main club, the Blair County Club, I'm going to search by name, and I'm going to say Doe. Search. Okay, I found both of them, right? And so anytime you want to manage your club members as far as which other clubs that they're going to be in, if they're in this, if you got the main club called Blair County Club and you got a sub club where you have the clinics, it's best to go into the main club and just search for them. Click that, search for them, and find them. Because from here is a better way to add Jane, especially because she doesn't have an email. Now, the only way the software knows, let me go back here. Let's do this search again. Go search. I want to go in. I want to go to edit. Okay. The software uniquely identifies people by an email, but if somebody doesn't have an email, it really has no way of figuring out if it's really a new account or not. But that's where the member number comes in, just for your information. Everybody has a unique member number, uh, especially for those that don't have emails. But it's best to come in here and then add her to the Blair County Club. And that way you know that you're not creating a separate account. So if I go ahead and press save, okay, now she is going to be in both clubs. I didn't do add new member. I actually edited her current account and then added her to the Blair County Club. And that's the best way to do it. If you have an overlapping club, let's say they're, if, this one is one club, this is a totally separate club, and you have members that cross over, it's okay to go into Blair County Club as long as they have unique emails. But when somebody doesn't have an email, you got to be a little bit careful that you don't go in one and add them in this one, then go up here and add them in that one. It's best if you know that they're already in one of your clubs, go to that club that you know they're in, edit that account, and just check off that second club and then press save. And that will save some headaches. So what happens if you did create a second account? So let's say I go back into here and I say add new member and I say Jane Doe again. It's going to let me add it. It's going to think it's a new account. Okay, you see, it's a brand new account. We did it by accident. And I said Blair County Club, and now she's in there twice, and we'll go show you that. If I go here and I say club members and I say show all players, well, now we have Jane Doe in here twice. Okay, we see the one that's the correct account that she was in, because we went and edited the master club and found her and added her appropriately. But let's say we did it by accident, went doggone it, we put her in here again. So the only thing you have to do is go in here and pick out the one that's not correct, say edit member, and just simply take them back out and say save, say yes, and that pretty much deletes that account. So that's how you work with club memberships and to avoid creating duplicate accounts. Uh, Thank you very much. Oh, and one more thing. When you add new members, if they're a part of Pickleball Den, maybe they're not in any of your clubs, and you put in their email. For example, if I go in and type bob.yacobucci@gmail.com, our software goes off and searches our database, regardless of whether they're in your club or not. They may be part of another club 30 miles away that they're now joining your club. And it's always best to put in the email that's consistent that they might be using across all their clubs. And then it goes off and finds them. And that way, when you hit the add member, you're not creating a whole new account. So that's it for club membership and Pickleball Den. Have a good time on the courts. Thank you for listening.